Hi, Curt. Great to see you here at Orlando AHR. And also, thanks for joining us yesterday at our reps meeting. And I'm delighted that you were Rep of the Year for FERNOX in the USA. I've just got a few questions for you, if I may. The first one is, how did you get into this fabulous industry that we are in and we all love?
So I had the benefit of growing up in a family that had a rep firm. My father was a rep, and I grew up in basically around the industry. I ended up doing different things for the first 14 years of my career out of school, but ended up back in the industry, and it's been awesome.
And at FERNOX, when we really started to establish ourselves in the USA, we did a careful study of those rep companies that we thought we could get involved with. And I'm pleased to say that we chose Mondale, and it's been a great partnership. What's your what's your memories of FERNOX starting up working with you?
We represent boiler manufacturer, and back in 2011, met Dan Slater at a sales meeting for that boiler manufacturer, and we heard about the magic of the FERNOX product, and we were sold, and we saw the importance because we knew there were heat exchanger failures already happening in the industry back when condensing boiler technology was still new to the market. We grabbed on to that idea and we ran with it, and it's been an amazing ride.
So, and on that ride, what sort of thoughts and changes in your contractor base, your customer base, has been to the use of water treatment and FERNOX particularly?
That's a great question. So back in 2011, when we started, nobody was really doing much with water quality. Nobody really even knew much about the whole conversation about water quality in boiler systems. And what has happened in the 14 years since then is I think our agency has done a great job of educating the market. And today, if you were to poll most of the contractors that either install or service condensing boilers on a regular basis, just about all of them will have heard of FERNOX, and many of those, a big percentage of those, will actually utilize the product. So the recognition of water quality generally is improved tremendously. We're also benefited from the boiler manufacturers. They used to not like water quality causing heat exchanger failures, but they would still warranty those situations. Today, they're not. And so that's helping us. That whole communication is made a big change in people's understanding of the importance of addressing water quality.
That's great. Looking to the sort of wider industry, we are going through a transition in most of the world from gas to electric. What's the situation in the Midwest around that sort of transformation?
Yeah, that's an interesting question too. So in the Midwest, our electrical grid can't handle, with our heating loads, the electrical grid can't handle a full-scale transition from gases, be it LP or natural gas, to electric just yet. We know that conversation is going to happen in the future, but it hasn't made significant progress to date. But conversations are starting.
And I think you'll find that particularly in the UK and other countries within Europe, that electrical infrastructure, when you start looking at cars, heat pumps, is that electrical infrastructure there to support that? And I think for us, we believe it's going to become like a hybrid position where the heat pump with electric will do a fair bit of it, but you'd have to have gas support. And I can see that developing over the coming years.
Right.
So, Curt, we've got a lot of experience now of working throughout the US. And in some areas, the water's, in good quality, and in other areas, it takes a lot of work to treat it. So in the territories that you operate in, what sort of water quality, mains water, as we would call it, town water, city water, and well water do you come across?
So it varies greatly across our territory, but in much of our territory, the water quality is really, really difficult. We have very hard water in a lot of our territory. Beautiful thing about the FERNOX product is, the F3 does a great job of cleaning that. The F1 does a great job of protecting that. And we are unique in that we actually recommend people use untreated water with our products. And there's still some skepticism about that, but people that have done it recognize that it works and they don't need to use DI water or anything like that. And that's a huge deal.
And I think we find that as well with glycols. And there is a number of glycols where it's specified that you have to use softened or deeming water. And I think the beauty of our glycol RF11 is that you don't have to. Is that your experience?
That's absolutely our experience, yes. And to build on top of that, the boiler manufacturers require a pH level of between 6.5 and 8.5%. Some, that band is even more narrow. You look at a lot of the glycols on the market, they're not even in that range. So not only can we use source water with our 100% glycol product or our diluted product, but we are meeting a spec that many glycol other manufacturers don't even meet.
And I think the other thing that adds to is a longevity. When you put Alpha 11 in, it can be for the life of the system.
Right, yeah. As long as you don't have any leaks in the system, it's fantastic. You can test the system. You want to test your water quality, but in most cases, you don't even have to retreat at all. Yeah.
So just a final question, really, to sort of wrap up. So what would you say to those contractors that are still skeptical about the use of water treatment?
So we've been working with the FERNOX product for 14 years. We had a boiler manufacturer that actually shipped the product with their boiler back in the early days of condensing technology because of all the problems. And they saw a dramatic decline in the number of heat exchanger failures they had. We have seen the magic that the FERNOX product can perform. We pitch the FERNOX product as doing a lot of amazing things, and we have absolutely seen it perform and do all of those and then some. So it's been amazing. The warranty rate, the recognition rate, the efficiency improvements. I would say, well, the other thing I would add is go to a training from one of your boiler manufacturers. Look in the install manual for the boiler manufacturers. Many of them specifically list FERNOX now. That's not by accident. That's because they recognize through their testing that the product works. So we have great experience with it. I would say give it a shot.
Thank you very much. And we really appreciate the last 14 years of our partnership. And I know there's a lot of good stuff to come for many years. So I really appreciate your time.
We appreciate it too. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Curt.
We look forward to it.
Cheers.